How's it going, guys? So today I thought we'd just do a quick update video for the MK2 VR6 Turbo project we're doing for Chris. Basically, we've had a bit of a delay with just about everything, as most people have, which seems to be the aftermath of COVID. There's supply issues with just about everything. So we've decided on management, decided on what ECU we're going to run, decided on turbo, wastegate, injectors, a few other bits. We've gone for the ME442, the built-in wideband boost control setup. So we were waiting, I don't even know, a couple of months I think for the ECU. We've just kind of been looking around the car, working out other bits we're going to need to change while we're there. You know.
Hey, pop the hood.
Pop the hood?
Pop the hood.
There was an issue with the turbine manifold. The wastegate on it is a cheap, horrible looking wastegate. I don't know where from, so we're going to bin that off. Could be Wish or eBay. So there's plenty of stuff we're binning off. Progress has been so slow as I wanted to actually get the car running on the standard ECU before tearing everything off. In hindsight, I probably should have just got into it because I've got a lot of fabrication work to do. But on the flip side of it, I couldn't start any of the fab work without having the other turbine manifold, the turbo mounted and so on. So yeah, so here we kind of are. So I thought we'd go through some of the bits that we've already got and then work out where we're going to go to next. So first item is the wastegate. We've decided on a Tile F38, which is a 38mm gate. Also going to run half a bar spring. Normally with a lot of the builds I do in 4 cylinders, I normally dump 1 bar spring in there and then achieve the rest of the boost. I want with obviously boost control through either like a Mac valve or some form of boost control. So
yes, science!
I normally would run a 44mm gate as well, but this seems to be the common option for a lot of the manifolds. It is when you're talking the cast manifolds. Obviously, if we had the kind of budget I'd like, then we'd be having a very big fancy tubular manifold, probably with twin 38mm gates or a single 44mm gate. But unfortunately, we've not got all the money in the world to do this.
I've got nothing left!
So I'm trying to get the best, or give the customer the best we can offer while keeping his budget in mind. The second is turbo manifold. So these cast units are extremely cheap and plentiful. Very, very cheap when you compare them to the price of the tubular alternative. I mean, a tubular manifold, you're normally talking £1,200 to £1,500. These are like a couple £100.
Very, very cheap.
Being cast, they're very, very durable. They don't really warp and they will just do the job. A lot of the time these won't flow as nice as a tubular manifold will, but realistically, you're never going to try and make the kind of power that you will with a tubular setup. So for where we are and where we're going, this will be ideal. The other thing I actually want to do with this is a little bit of porting so that this hole isn't perfectly round. Obviously using the gasket as a guide, or match it all up a little bit, see if I can get it a little bit better. I've opted to get rid of the manifold because it's got a very similar one on to this. If someone's trying to weld into the wastegate, so it's just easier to start from scratch with how cheap these are. Next one at the turbo. Again, with price in mind, like normally I would be the first to go for a Precision or a Garrett, as they're two of my favourite manufacturers of large frame turbos. We started doing a lot with Pulsar. You can pick one up for the third of the price, near enough, half to the third of the price of a genuine Garrett. Don't get me wrong, they will never make as much power as a genuine unit, but they're still extremely good. The machine works lovely quality, and they do work well. I mean, I'm running one on my Boosted Clear, which is in another playlist, which we'll drop in the description. So we've gone for the quick spool 0.63 AR housing on the hot side. Then we've been set super core cold or compressor side. So obviously I'll have to build this up later and clock it how I want it, but that's not a problem. Injector wise, we're actually in the middle of sorting out in a minute. I've just got to get the part number off the original injectors because the supplier wants that to confirm they're going to fit okay. We're opting for Bosch 550s. Last piece of the puzzle is the ECU. Basically this is the harness that Most Electronics have sent me. I've actually got to give them a ring because this is originally how we were going to do it, but then the plan kind of changed. So we could use this and basically put a hole in for the car or for the engine from scratch. But there's so much length on the loom, we can basically chop the plug off and then re-pin the 442 plug, which will save a lot of time. And again, obviously save a lot of money. We've got the ECU, which is very small, very compact. Very, very feature rich. We've actually started recommending the 442 for just about all the applications we use the 221 for. We've actually decided to go for the 442 most of the time because it comes with built-in wideband. So that by the time you buy an external wideband gauge, which is obviously the controller with the sensor, everything else, and have a little monkey around fitting it, buy one of these. So much easier, you get all the wideband gear with it, and it works. But yeah, so the next step is wire this bad boy in, hopefully get her running. In terms of spec for the car, it's about 500 horsepower. The customer's goal is around 350. A lot of the parts we need to do 350. The cost to do 500 or 450, 500 is extremely similar. So my idea was to overspec it a bit, and if he decides to turn up in the future, build the engine, whatever, he's already got a load of hardware there that he can utilise rather than stripping everything off and starting again. Next step, we'll be getting the injectors ordered today. And yeah, we've just been working through wiring diagrams as well to work out all the pinouts that we need, because we're actually having to physically wire this ECU in. There's no plug and play harness for them. Where we're jumping into now is getting the ECU wired in, getting it to run. As soon as that's done, we're stripping off the turbo manifold, the wastegate, full exhaust off, intercooler off, and then yeah, start putting some of the new bits on, start fabricating the exhaust system and get into fabricating the intercooler system.